In today's modern business world, IT is the business and the business is IT. Today, IT must respond to change at the speed the business dictates, not at the speed IT dictates, which was how things were when I joined IT many years ago, but certainly not today. So to achieve this, IT need to do things in smaller, more manageable bite-sized chunks. This not only supports continuous improvement, but allows us to respond to change more quickly and, if need be, redesign in an efficient manner. After all, the customer does not always recognise the right product until they actually see the wrong product. So doing things in iterations will enable us to better accommodate this. We also want people to work in heuristic environments where people can express themselves and where new solutions will emerge. People are best placed in complex situations. Ideally, we do not want people being consumed with repetitive, robotic and predictable activities. In many cases, we can use robots to undertake such work. We also need to adopt techniques and methodologies such as shift left, meaning bringing something closer to the source. An example of shift left could be self-help. Someone once mentioned to me that a company they had previously worked in said if a user wanted a new keyboard, they were issued with a PIN number, and then they would walk down the corridor to a type of vending machine, and using this PIN number, a keyboard was dispensed there and then. I suppose this is a shift left approach, meaning the output has been dropped directly into the lap of the source itself. Adopting a shift left approach deflects the repetitive, mundane work and allows us to reposition people into more complex situations where people are really needed. Techniques such as swarming is another form of shift left. In the context of managing incident tickets, this is an alternative to adopting a tiered hierarchical approach or something to consider operating alongside of by the way of introducing swarms when and where necessary. Swarming is where a single collaborative team of expertise come together temporarily, which improves communication and promotes sharing skills and knowledge across all teams, and focuses on avoiding queues. The problem with adopting a tiered hierarchical approach is tickets can bounce around the organisation in a silo-to-silo motion and equally can cause backlogs where specific specialist teams can become overwhelmed. As for swarming, we can introduce dispatch swarms, drop-in swarms or backlog swarms. There are challenges, however, with swarming, such as if you are wanting to monitor the cost per ticket, then this will appear to be expensive because higher skilled staff may be involved earlier, and it would be difficult to evaluate individual contributions because work is more collaborative, and not to mention finding the right people to swarm can be difficult, which would require executive support and a loosening of rules by moving away from a rigid process culture of self-reliance in teams. All that aside, it should be noted that if a culture exists where second or third line level of expertise think they are doing the service desk a favour when working on incident tickets, then this culture should be reviewed because everyone should be involved with incident management. And of course, we have data analytics, where data is manipulated into context and meaning, machine learning, artificial intelligence, continuous integration and continuous deployment and delivery, and not to mention robotic process automation. These are all capabilities which contribute to the efficiency and helps us to compete in today's modern market. So, almost all services today are IT enabled. Businesses use technology to communicate, transact, market and promote itself. Technology helps us to execute processes, design products and services, and design for business strategy, risk and security, etc. Someone once said to me, "Trevor, if you want to truly become transparent within the business and understand how IT underpins business activities, then catch an order when it first comes into the organisation. Hang on to it until the order has been fully satisfied and you will learn everything about IT and how IT underpins the business." How true this is. Silos are breaking down and cross-functional teams are being utilised more widely. In other words, we promote collaborative working. In simple terms, we mean we either fail together or we succeed together, not in parts. There is most certainly a need for operational agility, increased velocity, and a balance of predictability and stability. We need to respond fast and in the right direction. Speed to deliver and speed to recover is essential in today's modern business world. With all of this in mind, service management has to support this organisational shift. Service management sets a level of competency within an organisation. Service management represents capability. In other words, if I gave a group of people £1,000 each and asked them to turn this into £10,000, we know that some would come back in debt, whereas others would come back with some loose change. And others would indeed have turned the £1,000 into £10,000. How is this when each person has been allocated exactly the same resource? This is because each applied different levels of capability. This is management. In this example, cash is a resource and management is the capability. Resource and capability combined equate to what we refer to as a service asset.